South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol said he would never give up after Parliament voted Saturday to impeach him over his short-lived martial law decree, a historic rebuke that was cheered by jubilant crowds who described the outcome as another defiant moment in the nation's resilient democratic journey. Yoon called for officials to maintain stability in government functions during what he described as a temporary pause of his presidency. "Holding in my heart all the criticism, encouragement, and support directed at me, I will do my best for the country until the very last moment," he said. The National Assembly passed the motion 204-85 in a floor vote. Yoon's presidential powers and duties will be suspended and Prime Minister Han Duck-soo, the country's number 2 official, will take over his authority once copies of a document on the impeachment are delivered to Yoon and to the Constitutional Court. The court has up to 180 days to determine whether to dismiss Yoon as president or restore his powers. If he's thrown out of office, a national election to choose his successor must be held within 60 days. It was the second National Assembly vote on Yoon's impeachment motion. Last Saturday, Yoon survived an impeachment vote after most ruling party lawmakers boycotted the floor vote. Some People Power Party lawmakers had since announced their intentions to vote for Yoon's impeachment in a second vote, as public protests against Yoon intensified and his approval rating plummeted. National Assembly Speaker Woo Won-shik said Yoon's impeachment was an outcome driven by the people's ardent desire for democracy, courage and dedication. Hundreds of thousands of people gathered near the parliament roared in jubilation, waved banners and brandished colorful K-pop glow sticks, as a lead activist shouted on stage that, "We have preserved the constitutional order." In a central Seoul plaza, another huge crowd of people supporting Yoon gathered, but they grew subdued after hearing Yoon had been impeached. Both rallies have largely been peaceful. Yoon's December 3 imposition of martial law, the first of its kind in more than 4 decades in South Korea, lasted only 6 hours, but has caused massive political tumult, halted diplomatic activities and rattled financial markets. Yoon was forced to lift his decree after Parliament unanimously voted to overturn it.
저는 지금 잠시 멈춰 서지만 지난 2년 반 국민과 함께 걸어온 미래를 향한 여정은 결코 멈춰 서서는 안 될 것입니다. 저는 결코 포기하지 않겠습니다. 저를 향한 질책, 격려와 성원을 모두 마음에 품고 마지막 순간까지 국가를 위해 최선을 다하겠습니다. 공직자 여러분께 당부드립니다. 어렵고 힘든 시간이지만 흔들림 없이 각자의 위치를 지키며 맡은 바 소임을 다해 주시기 바랍니다. 대통령 권한대행을 중심으로 모두가 힘을 모아서 국민의 안전과 행복을 지키는 데 최선을 다해 주시기 바랍니다. 그리고 정치권에 당부드립니다. 이제 폭주와 대결의 정치에서 수구위와 배려의 정치로 바뀔 수 있도록 정치 문화와 제도를 개선하는 데 관심과 노력을 기울여 주시기 바랍니다. 사랑하는 국민 여러분, 저는 우리 국민의 저력을 믿습니다. 우리 모두 대한민국의 자유민주주의와 번영을 위해 힘을 모읍시다. 감사합니다.
Thousands of Syrians gathered on Friday at Umayyad Square, the largest in Damascus, to celebrate the first Muslim Friday prayers following the downfall of former President Bashar Assad. The Friday prayers have a particular symbolism because in the early days of the anti-government uprising turned civil war in Syria in 2011, protesters would turn out en masse after going to the mosque. Huge crowds, including some insurgent fighters, packed Damascus' historic Umayyad Mosque in the capital's old city for Friday prayers, many of them waving the rebel opposition flag, with its 3 red stars, which has swiftly replaced the Assad-era flag with its 2 green stars. According to Arab TV stations, the Friday sermon was delivered by Mohammed al-Bashir, the interim prime minister installed by HTS this week. Unified Syria to build Syria, the crowd chanted. Some shouted slurs about the former president and his late father, calling them pigs, an insult that would have previously led to offenders being hauled off to one of the detention centers of Assad's security forces.